It is crucially important to stop the warming of the planet and prevent the worst effects of climate change. Just not as important as it is to win an economic war with China. That's according to the Biden administration, which is proposing to increase tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles. Already, Chinese import vehicles struggle to enter U.S. markets due to high trade barriers, including a 25% tariff. The White House wants to increase it to 100% to totally eliminate the possibility that U.S. consumers can access EVs that are currently far superior and more affordable than American offerings. For example, Chinese automaker BYD makes a car that retails for only $12,000 called the Seagull that the AP noted, quote, drives well and is put together with craftsmanship that rivals US-made electric vehicles that cost 3 times as much money. A shorter range version costs under $10,000. BYD is the largest electric car maker in the world. NBC reported, quote, the rise of BYD and the Chinese EV industry in general has been aided by more than a decade of strong support from Beijing in the form of subsidies, tax breaks, and consumer incentives in line with what the ruling Communist Party has billed as a larger strategy to fulfill its global climate commitments. China's planned economy is kicking our ass, and U.S. auto companies know it. Even Elon Musk, who lies constantly about how superior his products are, admits he's got nothing on China. He said the country's EVs would, quote, demolish U.S. competitors. And the lobbying group, the Alliance for American Manufacturing, called the rise of Chinese EVs a, quote, extinction-level event for American companies. There's also fears that China, which has electrified its entire bus fleet, could take over that market too. Now, I get why protectionist trade policies might be necessary to protect U.S. jobs and consumers. I mean, the UAW supports these higher tariffs. But if the U.S. is going to meet its commitments to reduce carbon emissions, it will require electrifying a lot of cars. And currently, U.S. auto companies aren't all that interested in producing reliable, cheap electric cars that the masses can buy. They're instead chasing higher profit margins on more expensive, luxurious electric vehicles to appeal to wealthier people. That's why, according to the International Energy Agency, up to 45% of the cars on Chinese roads could be electric vehicles by the end of the year. That's compared with just 25% in Europe and only 11% in the US. Democratic Congresswoman Elissa Slotkin, who is a former CIA agent, recently called Chinese electric vehicles a national security threat. Take a look.
This idea of Chinese connected vehicles, autonomous vehicles, electric vehicles, trucks, autonomous trucks coming into the United States is no longer a fantasy. It is no longer the stuff of science fiction. In the European Union, the first Chinese electric vehicle was sold only in 2021, and they currently have 25% of market share. They just ate it up, right? Because they subsidize those things. They're cheaper. They made them look prettier than they were a few years ago. They no longer look just like a go-kart. They look like the Teslas that people are buying. And they're underselling all the European vehicles, and certainly our vehicles over there. So it has become my new mission to put up national security hurdles to those vehicles entering into the United States. We cannot let them get a foothold in the United States.
That's right. Affordable, quality electric cars that can help bend the carbon pollution curve are a national security threat because they were made in China. If U.S. policymakers are so afraid of China's superior cars, maybe they should just do what China is doing and operate a command economy that invests heavily in and directs companies to manufacture better electric vehicles. Because so far, the whims of auto capitalists aren't cutting it. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our new videos. Also, if you want to see Means Morning News in its complete form, not just the clips we post here, head on over to Means TV and get access to all our new episodes and our entire backlog, plus tons of other great movies and original TV shows.